What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the most insane, mind-blowing, and hype moments in the world of boxing. Today, we're breaking down a fight that nobody ever thought would happen, but one that everyone absolutely had to see once it was announced. It's the clash between the greatest of all time, the boxing legend, the one and only Mike Tyson, and the king of social media chaos, the YouTube sensation turned boxer, Jake Paul. You heard that right. This fight was everything boxing fans and casuals alike didn't know they needed until it was actually on the table. Let's dive into the madness, the spectacle, and the sheer energy that this fight brought to the world. Get ready, because what we witnessed wasn't just a fight, it was an unforgettable event that will go down in boxing history. From the tension-filled atmosphere to the shocking in-ring action, this fight had the entire world on the edge of their seats. Buckle up, because it's about to get wild. The night of the fight, the atmosphere was absolutely electric. Fans from all walks of life filled the arena. You had boxing purists, YouTube fans, celebrities, and influencers. Everyone was there, all hyped up and ready to witness what promised to be one of the most outrageous spectacles in recent memory. It felt like the Super Bowl of boxing, with the added twist of a legendary boxer stepping into the ring with a YouTube star. Nobody could have predicted this fight, but now that it was here, the excitement was undeniable. As the fighters made their way to the ring, you could feel the tension in the air. Mike Tyson walked out like a warrior returning to battle, his eyes focused, his energy dialed in, like it was 1986 all over again. Even though Tyson is well past his prime, he had that same intensity, that same ferocity in his gaze. This wasn't just a fight for Tyson, it was an opportunity to show that even at his age, he still had what it takes to hang with the best. Then came Jake Paul. Love him or hate him, the guy knows how to make an entrance. He walked out with the same confidence and swagger that's become his trademark, fully embracing the energy of the moment. Jake had that "I've got something to prove" attitude, which made it clear that, despite the boos from the crowd, he was ready to give it his all. The arena was roaring with a mix of excitement and animosity. People were booing Jake like their lives depended on it, but you could tell he was thriving off the hate, ready to shock the world. Before we even get into the punches, let's talk about the stare down. It was a moment that nobody could ignore. Tyson's look was pure intimidation. This is a man who's seen it all and done it all in boxing, and he wasn't about to let a YouTuber rattle him. On the other side, Jake was trying to play it cool, but you could see a flicker of realization in his eyes. This was Mike Tyson standing across from him, the same Mike Tyson who had destroyed legends in the past. It was like David staring up at Goliath. Except David had been talking a lot of trash on social media leading up to the fight. The bell rang for round one, and it was on. But before we get into the action, let's talk about the vibe. The energy in the building was unlike anything else. Every movement Tyson made, every punch he threw, sent shockwaves through the arena. Tyson was moving with the same ferocity that made him famous decades ago. He was cutting off the ring, looking for openings, and making it clear that he wasn't here for a casual exhibition. He was here to fight. Meanwhile, Jake Paul was cautious but focused, respecting Tyson's power while also showing that he wasn't going to be just a punching bag. Round one was all about feeling each other out. Tyson was looking for holes in Jake's defense, while Jake was trying to survive and avoid the legendary power that Tyson still possessed. The crowd was on edge, waiting for the first big punch to land. You could tell something was building, but both fighters were biding their time, waiting for the right moment. Things really started to heat up in round two. Tyson landed the first big shot of the fight, a vicious left hook that sent Jake stumbling backward. The crowd erupted. It was like a flashback to Tyson's glory days, and for a split second, you could see a flicker of fear in Jake's eyes. But to Jake's credit, he didn't crumble. Instead, he responded with a solid right hand of his own, catching Tyson off guard. It was a legit moment that had people wondering if Jake might actually be able to hang with a legend like Mike Tyson. Let's be real here. This fight wasn't about titles or belts. It was about pride, spectacle, and entertainment. Tyson pushed for this fight because he wanted to prove that he could still dominate in the ring. He wanted to be the one to shut down the Jake Paul hype train. On the flip side, Jake didn't really need this fight, but he took it for the payday and a chance to make history. He had to move up to heavyweight just to make this happen, which made it even more intriguing. You could see in the fight that Jake's heart wasn't fully in it like Tyson's was. Tyson had the clear upper hand, and he wasn't letting it slip. Round 3 was when things took a wild turn. Tyson, sensing that he could end things early, came forward with a series of powerful punches. Jake was backpedaling, trying to survive, when out of nowhere he landed a counterpunch that stunned Tyson. The arena went silent for a moment. Did Jake Paul really just do that? Jake saw his opening and went on the attack, landing a few more shots and pushing Tyson back. It was like the roles had reversed, and suddenly Jake was the one in control. For a brief moment, it looked like Jake Paul might actually pull off the impossible. He had Tyson on the ropes, and the crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing. Was Jake about to knock out one of the greatest boxers of all time? Tyson was still standing, but you could tell he was surprised. This fight wasn't going to be as easy as he thought, and Jake was proving that he belonged in the ring with the best. Round 4 was Tyson's comeback. After shaking off the surprise from the last round, Tyson came back with a vengeance. His punches were sharper, more calculated, and you could see the old Tyson coming out. He was relentless, cutting off the ring and delivering some brutal body shots that had Jake visibly wincing. Tyson was back in control, and Jake was struggling to keep up. But credit to Jake, he didn't go down. He absorbed the punishment and kept fighting, showing a level of toughness that nobody expected from the YouTube star. By round 5, the atmosphere was electric. Both fighters were giving it everything they had. Tyson was looking for the knockout, and Jake was fighting to prove that he could go the distance with a legend. The exchanges were brutal, with both fighters landing shots that had the crowd on their feet. But as the round progressed, Tyson's experience started to take over. He was landing cleaner shots, timing his punches perfectly, and cutting off Jake's escape routes. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Tyson, with his signature uppercut, caught Jake Paul flush. The crowd exploded as Jake hit the canvas. When Mike Tyson knocks you down, there's no getting back up, and that's exactly what happened. Jake Paul stayed down, and the fight was over. Mike Tyson, at 58 years old, had won with a brutal 5th-round knockout. Even though Jake Paul lost, he earned a lot of respect that night. He stepped into the ring with a living legend and held his own for 5 rounds. He showed heart, grit, and determination, and he proved that he's more than just a YouTuber who boxes for fun. He's a legit contender, and this fight was proof that he's serious about his boxing career. As for Tyson, he reminded the world why he's one of the greatest to ever step into the ring. Even at his age, he still has that power, that hunger, and that warrior spirit that made him a legend. After the fight, Tyson said he had nothing left to prove, but the fans knew better. Mike Tyson is a force of nature, and this fight was a testament to his enduring legacy. So, what did we learn from this fight? For starters, never count